Hey guys, it's Tuesday, June 25th, and I guess we're talking about cemeteries and cool places. I'm gonna try not to ramble because my last take I ramble for like 10 minutes. But I'm gonna talk about this really cool place. It's in Mexico. It's where my whole heritage is from. My family basically immigrated from Spain like 200 years ago to this little town. Um, It's called Real de Catorce, which basically stands for either, I'm not really sure on the English translation, but it's either Royal 14 or the Rio 14. But is this 19th century town that used to be this really prominent mining, silver mine, and they did like all kinds of mining there. But between the 40s and the 60s, it dried out and it basically became a ghost town, and now it's mostly a tourist place. I'm not from there, like that town. I'm from a town nearby, which is not that not touristy. But the town that I'm talking about is this. It's in a mountain. It's and it's just sitting on top of the mountain, just on top. And the only way to do it is you ride this like a 40. It's some jeeps from the 40s. This ridiculous looking. They're called wheelies. They call them wheelies. And you ride up, and the only entrance to that town is this tunnel. It's a single lane tunnel. It's a mile long, and then you go in, and there's like the tunnel. It's like the heading, like a little hidden town in the mountain. And the coolest thing about it is that it literally looks like you're stuck in the 19th century, but there's people with cell phones and modern clothing. It was actually a set for a movie with Brad Pitt and Julia Roberts. I think it was called The Mexican, and it was about a gun. Because I remember when I was little and I was over there. Everybody was like, "Oh, there's movie stars," and I was like, "Oh." But yeah, it's this really cool little town, and there's always stories. There's you know so many cool stories. There's stories about ghosts, about witches, about UFOs. There's tons of stories about UFOs. There's tons of stories about rituals and demons, and it's a very, very spiritual, like really. I'm not sure what the word I'm looking for, but it's really, really cool place. And actually, many people go there because, well, many Americans go there because peyote, and that in that area it naturally grows it grows like weed. So people go in there and then they eat it and then they get high and then yeah, that's a big tourist attraction. That's my big heritage. No, but it's really cool right now. There's this celebration. It's like a 2 week, 1 week celebration going on, and they're basically celebrating. I forget which virgin. They're celebrating I think Virgin Mary, one of the Marys are celebrating, and there's native dancers that go there, and then there's people that make this pilgrimage from different major cities just to go there, and there's this beautiful chapel and this big churches, big 19th century Spanish churches, and it's beautiful. And at night, this is probably the reason that I'm so into space and stuff, because when I was little and I used to go to my grandma's house at night, the stars, it beats anything you ever see, because you can see so many stars and constellations and all this stuff, and it's just beautiful. And if you ever have a chance, check it out. It's called Real de Catorce or Rio 14 or whatever, but it's an awesome place. Alright, I ramble on for 5 minutes. Alright, bye guys, see you next week.